Dragon, school board, parents, faculty, and most importantly, Academy High School class of 2013 for inviting me here today. Congratulations to all of you. I hope you're all proud of how far you've come today. And I'll do my best to keep this brief because I know there are lots of parties to go to. It wasn't that long ago, and okay, maybe it was, but let's just pretend it wasn't, that I was sitting right where you are, excitedly planning my future, which is why it's such an honor to be here today. There's something truly special about coming home. You see, the Academy was instrumental in making me the person I am. It nurtured my love of theater and literature, encouraged me to explore different avenues and be adventurous. It gave me the skills I needed to express myself with confidence and made me realize no matter how hard I tried, I'd never understand chemical reactions. Sorry, Mr. Neff. And it's seeing familiar faces like Mr. Neff, Miss Powell, Colonel Preston, and Coach Gonzalez that reminds me of all the teachers who inspired us and encouraged us. Teachers who came to work each day, who spent weekends and evenings coaching, tutoring, and mentoring so that I would be ready to face the world. And so here I am, wondering what advice I can offer to all of you as you begin this new phase, what advice I would have wanted when I was wide-eyed and optimistic. And I realized what I needed was a rule book, sort of a how-to guide on how to survive post-high school. Tips that would help me make the right choices about my career and finances and dating. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about how to succeed in life. Okay, you know I'm not going to do that. It's not possible. If it were, Steve Jobs would have invented it, and it'd be called the iLife, and we'd pay a lot of money for it, and we'd never have to make decisions on our own. But wouldn't it be nice if on the last day of high school, some worldly speaker stood up here and handed you a roadmap, and it would have helpful tips like, don't party too much in college, and if you're going to party, don't take 8 o'clock classes. It would say, forget about the money and follow your heart, or that if he or she treats you badly, dump them. It would tell you to be on time, and you don't know everything, so shut up and listen to those who do. It would tell you to put down your iPhones, close your laptops, and pay attention to the world around you, that it is a beautiful place with infinite possibilities. But the best thing about being right where you are is that you're going to discover that for yourself. And it will be painful and awkward and beautiful and exhausting, and it will make you exactly the person that you're meant to be. I know all this because years ago I was sitting there, and I believed my life was going to go exactly as I planned. I'd been accepted into DePaul University, an prestigious theater school, and when I was done with that, I was headed for Broadway. But unfortunately, a few days before I was supposed to leave for college, a financial crisis derailed everything. I couldn't afford DePaul, and it was too late to go anywhere else. And just like that, I was thrust into the cruel world. And you know, the real world doesn't care if you're a straight-A student, or you went to state and Monaco, or you were well-liked by your peers and teachers. What it cares about is that you show up and you do a good job. So that's what I did. I enrolled at UTSA and put my best foot forward at my hostessing job and my real estate job, and I thought about the odds of getting an acting job. And I considered giving up. I talked about other things I could do, good careers with steady paychecks. And then my friend, Dominic, a fellow Academy graduate, called me out. He said I was acting like a coward, and he was right, because I was afraid of being disappointed. Because disappointment sucks. It's like this virus that takes hold of you and you have to fight to escape it, like you fight for your life. But disappointment is inevitable, but it isn't forever. Walking away from your dreams, well, that's another story. And so a year later, I was in New York City, attending a theater school, and I may have been flat broke and sharing a ridiculously tiny studio apartment with 3 roommates and working 2 jobs again, but it was worth it. I was studying what I loved in one of the great cities in the world. And this is the part of the story that if I'd written it, I would tell you about that day, that a kind producer who I served lunch to discovered me, cast me in his Broadway play. But I didn't write it, and instead of that, I finished theater school, and then I waited. I waited for my break, I waited tables, and before I knew it, 5 years had passed, and I realized it is true. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So it was either quit or make a change. So I moved to LA, and at first it was more of the same, working crappy jobs for crappy money. I booked a few acting roles, but nothing to write home about. And in my frustration, I turned to writing. I had always loved telling stories, a love nurtured here at the Academy, and I began logging hours upon hours at the computer and in writing classes and workshops, and after 4 years I got my first break. I was accepted into an esteemed writing workshop at Warner Brothers and hired as a writer for the TV show Cold Case. It wasn't exactly how I envisioned my career, but it was pretty close. 10 years it had taken me to get my dream job. 10 years since I walked across the stage and accepted my own high school diploma. 10 years and I had finally made it. I had a big agent, a manager, and at last, a steady paycheck. And then just like that, it all ended. My mom got sick, my job let me go, and my big fancy agent dropped me. It was crushing. Overnight, I was back to square one. But that's how life is. There's always going to be disappointments. One of these days, when you're least expecting it, life will punch you in the gut, steal your lunch money, and quite make you question why you were in such a hurry to grow up. But if you want something bad enough, you'll realize it's just part of the process. It's life's way of saying, you want it, come and get it. And so I kept going, and I wrote more scripts and entered more contests and worked 2 other survival jobs I hated, and then I got a break. A new manager who believed in my work introduced me to the creator of a new TV show. A fellow Texan, we bonded over our love of breakfast tacos, Whataburger, and the pursuit of a lofty dream. And a few months later, I got the call. I was a writer for the TV show Client List. But you see, there was no rule book to follow. No one, especially me, would have scripted such an arduous path. And whatever your dream may be, whether it's to be a veterinarian or a doctor, an engineer, a professional athlete, it is possible. You don't have to go to an Ivy League college. You don't even have to go to college. But you have to be ready to work. And you have to be ready to fail because you will. You will stumble and fall. My advice, get up. Get up and get back to work. Now, along the way, you may start to doubt yourself. Maybe it's the naysayers telling you the odds are stacked against you or you don't have what it takes. Maybe it's that inner voice inside telling you, you can't do this. But those critics can be silenced, because even if you don't realize it, you have a whole cheerleading squad ready to drown out the noise. Look around you. Years from now, the people here cheering you on, family, friends, teachers, they'll still be cheering. They believe in you. Believe in yourself. Now, I know most of you will be packing up and heading off somewhere. Maybe it's across town here at Temuc, or across the state to A&M, St. Mary's, TCU, Blinn, or Langston. Maybe it's across the country or even the world, wherever you may find yourself stationed. But you'll all go through that timeless ritual of deciding what to take and what to keep. My advice, show no mercy. Throw out the regrets and self-doubt, banish hate, viral or otherwise. Discard the bitterness and let go of the grudges. Rise above the pettiness and be your own unique person. Because you can be anyone you want. You can do anything you want. You can make art or music or great works of literature. You can make a difference. You can create a world greater than any of us can imagine. To the class of 2013, whatever you want to be or do in this world is possible. But remember, no one owes you anything. If you want something, you've got to work for it. And if life isn't what you want, change it. Don't wait for someone to do it for you. They won't. Now, I've talked a lot about hard work and striving for success, and in the world we live in, that's important. But it isn't everything. Success isn't just defined by your title or the size of your paycheck or the awards you receive. It's about your purpose. I wrote for years without earning a cent, and if Hollywood stopped calling tomorrow, I'd keep on typing, because writing is my purpose, my passion, my calling. So I challenge each of you to find your own, because there will always be bills to pay and obstacles to overcome and tragedies to endure. That you cannot control. What you can control is finding the thing that gives your life meaning, the thing that makes you jump out of bed each day, that thing that fills your heart and makes you feel as young as you do right now with your whole life ahead of you. It would be nice if all of you knew exactly what you were meant to be doing. Some of you may know, others may discover it in college or on the job. For others, it may be a lifelong journey. But whatever you do, don't give up the search. It's worth the wait, I promise you that. The great poet, Jay-Z, said it best when he said, "There ain't nothing wrong with the aim. Sometimes you just gotta change the target." If there's one final thing I can leave you with, it's this. You're never too old to dream big. You're never too old to secure a target. And when you find what you want, go after it with everything you've got. Aim so damn high, you reach the stars. Thank you.